Right.
Hello. I can make it look like it's a robot.
While you're waiting. Alright, you got a minute left. Enjoy the chaos. Oh yeah, I should sit up, fix my posture. I am kind of all shrimped up on the ground like that. Hey,
I'll be
did
right back
that
in a second.
Coco, whatever, kind of walk on my screen? What was he doing? On camera. Oh wow. Alright, so when is Dad gonna be done being pelted by his kids, huh?
What are you doing today? Oh, man. Hope everybody's had a good weekend. We are going to do some things that you can just randomly do sometime during the week if you just have a few things lying around. Nothing complicated. A couple of ideas that I just picked up. About storage today. doing today? Had to change audio levels? Oh, okay. Hey Dio, welcome in. You getting heat too, Dio? Seeing reports of some others getting up into the 120s now. Oh boy. People have got to be careful. And watch their food storage. We'll get going here in just a minute. Turns out I was overwatering my plants a little bit, didn't know it. So I've cut that way back. You seem to be doing a little better now. That's good. Okay. One other thing I needed. Let's see. Oh, God. Let me grab one thing real quick and then we can get going. All right. Turns out my new plan for working with the dryer is going to be okay. I still have 2 more repairs to do. I need to replace the heating elements in the water heater. Apparently, I bought it new in 1999. So, it hasn't been touched since then. And I need to replace the dryer gasket seal, which is that there's a felt ring around the front of the dryer drum, which is up against the wall, and that keeps it from grabbing strings and things and destroying clothes. I've lost 2 hoodies and a pair of shorts and a pair of pants that way. So I'm trying to get a hold of that gasket so I can replace it. They cost like $30, which is exorbitantly high. It should only be about $3, but that's okay. I'd rather pay the $30 than pay for a new dryer. The water heater parts were $49, but that included the wrench tool, both heaters, the contactor for the top one, and the contactor for the bottom one, as well as new thermostats. So basically, it just rebuilds the whole thing from scratch. From the looks of it, it will only take a couple of hours, really, not even that long, maybe an hour. Fix it, so that's pretty good. And again, that's better than $700 for a new one, since I paid I think $149 for it. This inflation nonsense is making it not worth even doing anything now. Hey, Safety Fox, welcome in. Yeah, this inflation nonsense is just ridiculous. $150,000 house is selling for $300. No. No, that's ridiculous. Okay. So as an update, let's see. I replaced the line on the water line on the dishwasher, and I reseated it and got it installed properly because the guy that did it the first time didn't do it. I also rewired it and sealed up the wire in the controls box where it's supposed to be. The guy left it laying on the floor in the water. Nice job, dude. That cost me about $30. New one, decent one, a decent grade one right now, $900. How much were they when this one was purchased? About $80. Yep. So we saved a good bit of money now on that one. The stove heating elements and pan replacements were $38. Water heater parts $49. The dryer parts about $60. So for $220, I've basically rebuilt all of the appliances in the house. I'd call that pretty good, especially since a lot of it didn't take all that long to fix. It's worth it if you want to do it. I'm glad to see everybody. Hope you all had a great weekend. I know it's not wrapped up now, but here we are. All right. Oh, and the camera got bumped. Okay. Uh-oh. There we go. Just bumping the camera. Need more weather, does that? I think not. Oh. Although Safety Fox over there, if I remember right, has a really cool looking tornado chasing rig. Okay. So let's see what we can do there. We're going to start off with German recipe. while that's cooking, we'll start making some salads and a few other things. So what we're going to do is we're going to make German currywurst. And I've checked. There's several recipes, there's several different styles, but they're all basically the same. And I thought it was kind of interesting that it was so simple. So what we need some tomato sauce and vinegar to start off with this one. And I've got a big old can of tomato sauce right here. We'll use that. And as far as vinegar goes, it didn't actually say what kind. So I'm going to use the most neutral I can, which is just white vinegar. Also happen to have quite a bit more of it. Remember, glass bottles don't go cloudy. Use the glass. It's $1 more, but that's worth it. You don't throw it away. Then we're going to use 2 teaspoons of curry powder. Now, I'm not the biggest fan of this, but it does have its uses, and in this case, I think it's okay. So this is the standard stuff you get when you buy a big can of it at the grocery store. It's just a mixture of turmeric and a few other spices. We also need some paprika and a little bit of sugar. Now the paprika, I can use the standard paprika for this, but I'm also going to add a small amount of chili to it, because this is going to not have a whole lot of flavor to it if I don't. So I'm going to add just a little bit of regular chili powder to it. I'm actually going to skip the sugar. We're going to add a little bit of diced onion. We are going to use 1 onion for a couple of recipes today. I'm just going to try to portion it out. We're going to use just 1. It does actually call for a little bit of cayenne as well. It didn't say how much, but I will add a little bit as well. It's got to have a little bit of heat in it, or it just isn't a curry. I also don't believe in not having a little bit of garlic in there either. So I'm going to add a little bit. Shh, don't tell them. Then our main ingredient, you can use, it's supposed to be bratwurst, but I got kielbasa instead, mainly because that's all I had. I didn't have any bratwurst. They had the cheese bratwurst, and I'm not going to use that. Baked cheese bratwurst. Yep. So this one's relatively simple. We just need to mix up a couple of ingredients and drop them straight in. This is going to simmer on the stove for just a little while, not too long. So let's go ahead and get started with this, shall we? I'll get a picture of it here as well. This will be posted on our Discord if anybody wants to try and get it. This is a really easy one. Shouldn't cost much money at all. And you can make a couple of recipes with it. Or at least a couple servings with it. So not too bad. I'm going to use the poly board so I don't have to do as much whacking today. Sausage last. Alright, as far as our spices go, now we don't have an actual pound of sausage there. We only have about, I think it's 3/4 of a pound. Yeah, it's 3/4 of a pound, so we'll have to use a little bit less spices and such. need about a cup that canned tomato sauce. We need 2 tablespoons of our vinegar. So let's start with those. Hey Haru, how you doing? We'll just use about 2 tablespoons. I don't see any reason why we can't go ahead and make a little extra sauce. It isn't going to hurt it. How you doing today? Does that automatic function work here? Hey Prismite. 12 a.m. here and you're just now. Oh my gosh. How you doing, Prismite? Does that work? Oh, it does work. Okay. I thought it was something somebody had to set up. I hope it wasn't too hot for you over there, Prince Mike. I know how hot you said it was getting. Alright, these cans are 15 ounces. This is a slightly older can. It's still in date. Newer cans are 4.5 ounces and all those good things because of shrinkflation. So you have to kind of judge it based on how much you need. Hungry? Yeah. So there's our cup of sauce. This is relatively inexpensive. There's no real reason for you to make that from tomatoes. And if you want to, but really not worth doing it. We're also going to use a little bit of that in another recipe here in a little while. So that's relatively good. I'll try to keep it clean today since today's Sunday. I don't have time to clean it up next week. Alright, next up is our powder spices. I'm going to do all these in one right now. So we need 2 teaspoons of our curry powder. I'm going to use our little half teaspoon for this one. This should have a little bit of bite to it if we do it right. This curry powder that I have here is not actually the store brand stuff. It was, but I also bought from the local Indian / Asian store here, and it's actually kind of great. And I'm finding it easier to use as well. It has a much better flavor and smell to it. Now our paprika, we also need 2 teaspoons, so we're going to use 4 of those. Use a little less because we're going to add some other chili powder too. This has got a little bit more strength to it, so we're going to use a little, around a half teaspoon, maybe a little more. then we're supposed to use just a quarter teaspoon of the cayenne. I'm going to use a half. That's quite a bit there for that. Starts adding it quick. Now you can add the sugar if you want to, but I'm not going to do it today. Now we're also looking for about a half a cup of onion. So on this case, we're going to be using well, this much. It's not a lot. Let's pull these out of the way here real quick. Our other recipes today are just fun little things that you can do at home if you have a few ingredients laying around. The total bill today was $42. So really being conservative today. Now I am going to go ahead and add a little bit of garlic. Luckily, it's all still in good shape. I'm going to chop it up nice and fine. Strong smell to it. I don't know why I'm doing it this way. Now, as far as our onion goes, we need about a half a cup. Bought this onion yesterday. Luckily, it's not bad. This time I only bought one. Normally I've been buying two. Because we keep getting bad ones. This has got really thick skin to it. Look at that. Wow. It does not want to peel. That's one layer. This is about 3 layers. Still got another one. 2 more. Ooh. Five layers of skin on this one. Heck. Hey, Boo Boo. Congrats on the first. I'll get to hydrate and the stretch. You just putting it all in at once, huh? I know you're busy. Give me just a sec. It's funny, when you say stretch and I'm in a stream, I generally do take that as the minute that I need to sit down so that I don't pop my back. the wrong way. Oh. Let's see. Since they seem to be all of the discussion lately, I hate to make it sound like a good thing, but what do you call a stolen Tesla? An Edison. If anybody knows any history about that, that's funny. All right, we need about a half a cup of this onion. I'm not going to use all of it like I usually do because we're going to need it for another recipe and then another one after that. I'm going to use this. Hope everything's going okay. Busy. Uh-oh. We had our first escapee. We don't want to chop this up too much. I'll tell you right now, that's more than a half a cup. Because these are about a half a cup. Good. Look at that. Almost perfect. Probably a little more. Alright. That's pretty much it. So now all we need to do mix in. Use a very small whisk, one that goes with the electric beater. All of our spices into our tomato sauce here. Gotta be careful not to spill any. As you can see, it got really thick really fast. I'm going to get that vinegar in there. You may have to add a little water to it as well. This tomato sauce brand is okay. I thought that was Food Kitty, but it's not. And there is our currywurst sauce. Now we need to cut up our sausage here. Again, using kielbasa for this one. You should use bratwurst for the traditional one. Again, couldn't find any because it was only cheese stuff. So I don't know why. That's just all they had. We will get started. All right. I saw how they were cutting it in the images they were doing, so we're going to do the same thing. We're going to make them a little thicker, cut them diagonally. Not too thick, about a half inch I think is what I'm doing here. Gonna get a little weird weird shape here and there around the corner. And my designer brain is trying to calculate angles. We don't want to do that. These are going to simmer, but I'm going to brown them a little bit first. And there we go. Really easy thing to do. You can even make this in an air fryer if you want to. You can make this in a skillet. I'm going to use our stainless pot for this one. Ooh. Hold on a minute. We put this one in the oven last week and it got a little bit scorched on the upper end. I wanted to scrub it a little bit before we use it again. It's not dirty, it's just scorched. At a TV dinner, this looks more promising. Oh, me. Okay. Let me get you repositioned a little bit. Come over here right now. I'm gonna cook out the water a little bit here. We'll get started. I am going to use a little bit of oil, not much, but the onions will soak it up, so we want to add a little. They don't cook well unless you lubricate them, right? How much do those TV dinners cost now? What are they? They used to be like, I could get them for like $1. I know now they're some of the better, quote unquote, better ones were about $3. But what are they now? Because if they're $5, $7, $8, that's just awful. I especially didn't like those quote-unquote lean cuisine ones. Sausage, buttery, garlic, onions inside of mash. Sounds good right here. Well, this will be currywurst. I guess they would serve it with, probably would have mashed potatoes with it, and, not sure. I will admit that yesterday, because I didn't cook, I did go and get food. I don't do that very often. I had a real strong want for some wings, but then I went online to see how much it was. It was like $50 for number 2. I decided not to. We'll make our own wings. I eat a lot less protein. That is true. But I did get a burger yesterday. I made him take the bacon off though. We can make some garlic butter burgers if you want to. That $15 mess just gotta go. A little bit of oil, about a tablespoon or so. We're going to drop our onions in. And our sausage. Bring the heat up a little bit. Garlic will burn faster than onions, so don't just dump it in there. I know a lot of recipes tell you to do that. So if you're trying to brown it a little bit, don't put the garlic in first. Burger sounds good. Well, I am going to do a little no-no here after we start working on salad. I saw a little thing on French bread pizzas. I happen to have some, as well as some garlic or some pita bread. I figured I'd make a couple of those for lunch today. I have finally started pulling some weight off. That's good. I'm trying not to add too much back to it. I really am going to try to keep the mess down today. I'm just going to continually keep washing stuff and reusing it. These may not brown too much before we need them. I'll let them cook another minute or so. I think we can drop our garlic in now. do. As long as it starts permeating a little bit, it'll be fine. New burners are hotter, yes. I have to keep an eye on the temperature, so that's why it's going to take me a little while to adjust. I'm just kind of gently moving it up and down instead of just forcing it like I did with the previous one. See that? Everything's already washed. Now, the recipe that I had for this, see that? See how it starts to scorch a little bit? We need to go ahead and add our sauce. Ooh, that's strong. This was designed for use with an air fryer. So, as thick as this sauce is, I'm going to add a little bit of water to it because it's going to boil off pretty quickly. And an air fryer would be kind of contained. I'm not going to add much, maybe a half a cup. Basically, it's the consistency that you want it to be when it's done right now. We don't want to do that. We want to simmer this for about 15 to 20 minutes to make sure our sausage is nice and done. And honestly, I think we're going to need a little more water. Just get it from our sauce bowl so we can get more of our juice. This is one of those things where you're just going to have to kind of watch it. There we go. That consistency looks pretty good. Moving on. Next up, we're going to go ahead and make a couple of salads while that's cooking. I'll check on it in about 12 to 13 minutes. And we'll come back over here. You see what I mean about it being hotter? That is actually boiling a little too much. That was set on 5. Previously, that would have been just barely enough. I'll bring it down just a little bit. Okay. Come back over here. These containers, I know they're more expensive, but these are the ones that when you press down on the top, they form a vacuum. I'm finding that they can keep things in pretty good shape for a day or two longer than normal. Do this one at a time. What are you using, spring mix today? I do like using these. They taste a little better than your iceberg. Your iceberg is utter junk. Ooh, we may have to make extras. Guess I have dinner too. Green leaves? Yeah. The good kind. The purple radicchio. There we go. Cycle. If we have an oak paper blending left, we do. Yep. We'll use this. And we'll use the Finger Remover 2000 for this one. It's a little more precise, and you can cut thinner. Every single brand new knife I've ever had has gotten me at least once. If it were a car, I'd say that it's had its sacrifice. Anybody that hadn't worked on a car before. Trash dinner salad kind. Yeah, that's right. The spring mix is a little bit more expensive. It's like $1 or $2 more, but like I said, including all of this today, I spent a total of $48. And we're gonna get a week's worth and then some. Pour out. Last chunk we will save because we may need it, but it has to be used today. Croutons or crotons, huh? Oh, are we starting a debate? From around here, I'm going to use our accent. They're croutons. There, start that one. Next up, I found decent looking radishes today. Big fat ones. No, I don't actually use them. A lot of times it's just the cart thing. Mainly because they go soggy if you leave them in the refrigerator for with the salad for a little while. When you're trying to run out the door at 7:30 in the morning because there's no parking, you tend to not want to do anything. All right, let me check on our Currywurst. Sauce is trying to thick a little bit. I'm going to make sure I break it up a little. It looks like the sausage is cooked down pretty well so far. It's starting to shrink a little. This will have a little more sauce in it. I'm going to turn the heat down just a little. We need the burner for the next recipe. That's why I do salads and things in between. Gotta be smart. These were pretty caked with dirt. Don't put them in the... well, I mean, if I were going to do it, I would put them in like 2 or 3 bags and keep them over by the microwave so that you could just grab them. But that's just one more thing for you to forget when you're running. I'm gonna cut these a little thicker. Huh? Okay. We still have 3 or 4 minutes left on that timer, but we don't really need it. It is hotter. Ooh. Welcome back. I'm almost starting to think that maybe I should just let it run them a little more frequently and run them shorter. cut 5 or 6 of these, and I only really needed 2. Wow. I'm letting the currywurst just kind of finish cooking with the residual heat. We can put these on the side when we move to the next one here in a minute. Still got one more. 2 more. Here we go. Second. Lots of sauce. A little more than it's designed for, but hey, I'm not gonna complain. Usually it dries out. So there's our currywurst. So we've got some nice steaming hot curry sausage. We'll set this over on the side here. Okay. Next up, this one, something you can do pretty quick. Considering the crowd, try really carefully not to mispronounce this. So this time, we've got a beef stroganoff. Don't say it. So we will move our salads for a couple minutes because we still got a little more to do here. This is actually even easier. Don't buy that stuff from the store. You need one big old bag of noodles, and you can make several with this. 1 pound of ground beef. In this case, I've got the second grade, I guess you'd call it. The 8515, so it's got a little bit of fat in it. One can of reduced sodium cream of mushroom soup. Garlic, sour cream, salt, and pepper. Now, the thing that I messed up today was that I forgot to get the sour cream. However, it's added in at the last minute, so it's okay. We can do that. I'll just do it later. Now, garlic, it's calling for garlic powder. I don't like using garlic powder. It's good if you need it for reserve, but we're going to use a couple of cloves of real garlic. Because I've got 2 big old heads over here. We might as well use them. I already used up one today. Real garlic tastes better. And it's relatively inexpensive. Just one of those things. I don't think we need 3. 2's enough. I also like to add a little bit of the onion coat as well. So I said we needed the onion for a couple of recipes. We're going to mix it in with ground beef, just cook it with it. And we're not talking about very much here, we're just talking just a little bit. Just a little bit. Cream-based stuff is pretty bland most of the time. We're going to mince this up pretty tightly though, so it disappears. This will basically melt away. We're probably not even going to use all that. All of it. Absorb the damage. No, that was bad. Here we go on the bad garlic trip again. Oh, this was actually 3. Oh, okay. Keep your fingers curled away from the blade. Yeah. Pretty quick, right? All the same pot for this. We're gonna watch it out real quick. This old pot, this old stainless pot, probably 25 years old at this point. I will never complain about it. Just gotta know how to cook with it, that's all. Okay. So we gotta do 2 steps for this one. Actually, it's 3. Our sour cream that I mentioned has to be mixed in at the very end. So that's something that can be done later after we're done. Right now, we're going to take our beef and our garlic and onion here. We're going to mix those together in the pot over there, and then get it all nice and browned up, and then add our cream of mushroom soup to it, and then we're going to stop there. Because if I combine it with the noodles now, it will get soggy and be awful. So we're going to cook our noodles, but we're going to cook it up for 1 day, maybe 2, but not enough for the whole week. So I'll have to cook some of these a little bit later. So this is one that we're going to store in 2 parts. So relatively easy. Our soup here, we need a large can. This is exactly the amount, so we're going to use the whole can. Alright, so this is pretty easy. This is not hard at all. So let's switch over. We're back over here, as you can see, already ready to go. Start us up some water, however, and boil our noodles. Those take about 10 to 12 minutes. You do want to fully cook them. I've found that they get a little dry if you leave them in the fridge for a day or 2. So they'll go back to kind of an al dente feeling to them. So we'll put those on our new burner in the back here. And we'll bring up the heat a little bit on our front one. I'm going to dry it out again. See how we're doing today? So far we have like 0 mess. This is pretty good. And we're going to keep going like this. At least for today. It looked a little funny. I wanted to make sure it was okay. Date is like next month. Yeah, I have had it for a little while. Having a couple of cans of cream of mushroom and cream of celery and cream of chicken, like one of each, in your stock pantry is a good idea. You can make a lot of things with those. Alright. This one's all active work, so we can't just sit it. But when we're making our pizzas, we can. salad. I'm going to try 2 styles. We're going to see how it does with pita bread and how it does with the chunk of French bread. I think we're going to need a little more water. We'll also add a little salt and a little oil to that for our noodles. Noodles are on your judgment, however many you think you need. They do have a very long shelf life and they don't require refrigeration, so it's a good idea to have some. Egg noodles cook quicker than regular pasta does as well, just a little note. See how quick that back burner heats up. All of them are new. Every one of them on the stove is brand new. The only thing I didn't do was replace the burner and the burners inside the stove. I'll look at that and see how much those are if I can find them. All of the switches on the stove are also mechanical, so there's no electronics to fail. Just contacts. There's no vegetables in the soup in this recipe. That's funny. I was looking for the simplest version possible. I've got about 8 or 9 recipes like that right now sitting on my desktop. So. Alright, looks like we're about ready. We'll start by browning our beef and adding our ingredients to it, other than the things that will burn quickly. Well, that got hot quick. Wow. That was just on medium. really got it off before it's scorched. Alright, let's try that again. For about, looks like about 25% right off the bat. We'll go ahead and add our salt and pepper. This is a really two-taste kind of situation. I'm going to add very little salt because the soup has a lot in it. We'll just cook it a little slower. Looks like there was less fat in this than they said there was. I'm going to add a little bit of oil. Maybe a teaspoon? Good. I wasn't kidding when I said the garlic and onions would disappear. Look at that, gone. So that little bit of flavor you just added in there just disappeared. It's physically gone. Hey T-Pain, welcome in. Hello. This is so easy, I think probably a 6-year-old can do it without even thinking about it. I'm, however, not endorsing that. Oh, I need to. There we go. It's starting to get a little bit of juice in it. Our water's about ready. A little less than a third of the bag or so from what I just put in. This is a 1 pound bag, I think, or a 2 pound bag. No, it's 1 pound. Yeah, there we go. We're getting a little bit of oil, and a little bit of fat off the beef. It's not much, and it's almost done. I think we're about ready to add our soup mix. Yeah, I think we are. We're not adding water to this. little bit of fat, help it cook. We'll just incorporate that right on in there. Let that cook in for about 5 or 10 minutes. At least 5 to 10. We're going to cook it slowly. We'll come back to our salad. We gotta stop spinning around so much. Got a couple more things left. Didn't want to buy anything extra for our salad this week. So we're trying to use up what we have. So we're back here. Starting December at a level 4. The pasta's boiling at about a 7.5. Not bad. Stove's doing well. I'm not going to keep these carrots around too much longer, so we're going to go ahead and use them today. These are the ones I got for the last recipe. Am I doing all right out there? I wish the other store wasn't so far away. I'd love to go over there and get carrots and things because they've got carrots big enough to make people blush. For lack of a better way of saying it. At least some people. Carrots are good for your eyes. Have some. Ah! Shave almost. Keep them thin. I'm not forcing it down, by the way. We're just kind of gliding into it. Ah! Y'all are attacking me over here. There we go. 2 carrots produces that much if you do it right. Alright, last one. Actually, I have a green pepper here. Put a little bit in there. Also got to use it for the pizza. Alright, let me stir and check on our... Oh yeah. Looking good. That's looking pretty good. Where's our finger slice? Finger slice for 5,000. Hit it. Pepper's got a fairly strong pepper smell to it. Hopefully that doesn't mean it's old. I am going to be going out of town soon for a couple weeks here and there. So we will be on hiatus for a little while. Not long. If I have time and energy to do it, I may try to do a art stream. We'll see if I can stream from just my tablet. We'll see. You want to cut these pretty thin. That should be more than enough.
Right.
Oh, okay, T-Pain. I'll get you just a second. It's getting warm in here, so I've been trying to keep up with it. The heat is bad today, I think. So it's going to get hot. The house is made out of brick. And I think that'll do it. We can pack those up. Unless I got something else. Oh. One of these could be semi-Greek. No, 2 of them then. And that's it for that. Never wasting anything. Ooh. We do have something else. We check on our stuff. Check the time. I think we're getting pretty close. It should only be about a minute or 2. It is just right at the temperature where it's starting to stick to the bottom of the pan. So it looks like 4 is now our limit, not 5. I'm cutting these really thin. Our pizza is basically going to be put into the broiler when we do it here in a minute. You want your ingredients mostly cooked for that, by the way. Because your bread is already pretty much done. You're basically putting it in to melt the cheese. So we're going to have to cook these a little bit if you're going to do it at home. See how nice and precise we can get with a good knife? Bad. Hello, Titanium. How are you doing? Beef stroganoff mix is ready to go. The only thing, as I mentioned earlier, is that I just don't have the sour cream to put in it at the last second here. I will do it. It's just not going to happen right at the moment. That's where a lot of that color comes from. Because we're not putting them together right this minute. But we do have a nice, consistent color and sauce made here. We will add about a half a cup, not even a half a cup, probably a little less than a half a cup of sour cream to this, and then mix it in, and it'll get a little bit more of a white color to it. So I'm going to set this over to the side. Doing good? That's good. I'm doing double duty today because we're it's Sunday. I'm out of time. Looks like our pasta needs another minute or two. I'll make a little bit. All right. Nope. Pasta's ready too. With this, you're going to need to, if you're doing this, especially to pack it for a day or two, you need to be sure you rinse it off really well. Piece of the beef had fallen out onto the stove. It was so hot that it cooked it on the stove, on the enamel. We'll let that sit and drain for a minute. Alright, we're going to start working on our ingredients here for our pizzas here. These are just kind of a experimental thing today. Last thing we're doing, trying to keep these slices really thin. We're going to cook our peppers and onions and add them after the fact. But you don't need you don't have to go through all the trouble of making bread and everything else. You can do it this way. There we go. So we've got part of green pepper here. Of course, all of the ingredients for this are completely up to you. We got a jar of grocery store pizza sauce, relatively easy, not cost expensive. We're going to go ahead and use our onion for this one. Again, this is why I said we were going to use one onion today. Same thing, we're just going to kind of shave it. For the most part. And these you're going to want to keep into mostly whole condition. Not completely, but most. Letting our pasta finish draining over here. This is something you can just have fun with on a weeknight when you have a little time. Peppers and onions, you want to use them. I'm curious as to seeing which one's going to bake better. Be more consistent. Now I am going to say something here. I'm going to use this. People are not going to be happy about it. You can use whatever you like, but I've got to use these because of salt content. So I'm going to use turkey pepperoni. I know a lot of people don't like it. But to me, it tastes about the same. There we go. And we've also got our low skim mozzarella. And I got a couple of jalapenos. I got fresh ones this time. I know I've got a bunch of them in the freezer. But it would taste kind of funny with squishy jalapenos. Again, this is just something you can do for fun if you want to. Try to use as fresh ingredients as you can. this case, you're gonna be heating these up pretty hot. You're gonna be using your oven to try and quickly toast it. So your heat is going to be relatively high, about 400 or so, 425 on a broil mode. So I'm going to go ahead and turn the stove on and get it ready. I'm putting the rack in the oven moderately high, but not all the way up. Whatever leftovers we've got on these peppers, they'll go in the freezer. Oh, you have to cook some of this on the stove first. Let's cut that off for a minute. I'll start eating it after we get that done. We are going to want to cook some of these as well. There we go. Anything else you want to use? Anything different you want to use? All up to you. Personally, I like meat lover stuff. I can't have that, so. I remember when they used to make pies out of it. Like friado. You can't get that anymore. That died off after a pretty short time too. It was expensive. Well, let me see real quick if there's anything else. Oh. We're going to try doing this with two things. White pita bread. It has protein content. And I'm going to try and do this with one of the French fries. We'll see how it goes with both of them. Watch that knife if you've got one of those. It will take your fingers and shred them. Careful. Ooh, it's getting warm in here. All right. This looks like a pretty good mix, doesn't it? Okay. Let me get a picture. We'll get started making up a few of these. What do you say? Just a little experimentation today. So what we're gonna do? These don't need to be. We're gonna fry up the pepper mix first because that's not really gonna bake when you put it in the oven. It's just gonna become half cooked and then they'll be crunchy, and you don't really want that on a pizza. So I'm going to fry those over on the stove. I'm gonna put the camera. Oops. But first, gotta do an intermission a little bit here. Ran out of oil. Gotta refill the extra virgin here. That did not sound right. Not saying it. So many jokes I could do today. Oh boy. It'd be so easy. Made a mess out of that. Okay. Last little bit today. So as we just learned, I'm going to set the stove down to 4 instead of 5. And we're going to fry these up a little bit, but we're not going to use much oil. Just a little. I got it all over my hands. That does not feel right. Like that every time. I think we're going to turn Kofi off. We'll get the heat up just a little bit, then we'll go ahead and cook those and put them back, and then we'll get started. I'm moving on vacation here soon. I'll let you all know before I go. I might even try to go ahead and see if I can set my laptop, not my laptop, just my tablet up and see if it's powerful enough to do a stream. It may not be, but we'll see. Be about ready. I'm just looking for a place to put radishes, that's all. We're going to do these separately, one at a time. Start with our onion. We're going to try to brown it just a little bit. That's it for a minute. And in the meantime, I will get our aluminum tray. The oven. This whole thing, of course, as I said before, is just a matter of opinion. Whatever you want to do. I'm afraid to turn the heat up. If I turn the heat up, it'll just start burning. Pizza sauce is about the same price as the canned tomato sauce, maybe a little bit more. But to be honest about it, everything you got to add to it, all the time you got to put in it, it's just cheaper to get the pizza sauce. That was up to you. Oh, hey, Diyote. Diyote, welcome in. Hello, and thank you so much for the subscription. Really appreciate that. How are you doing today? It's good seeing you. Alright, they're starting to get a little translucent. They're starting to brown a little bit. That's what we want. We don't want them completely cooked because they're going to be in the oven too. So that'll be pretty good. Just drop those right back in our little dish. Drop in the green pepper. Soften these up a little bit. I don't think we need any more oil for that. Cooked our onions down just about right. They look good. Chilling. Let me check these out. And then, oh. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Today we're just kind of, we did a currywurst. We've got a prepped for refrigeration, a beef stroganoff done. And right now I'm just making up a couple of ingredients here for doing a little experimentation with trying to make pizza with French bread and with pita bread. So that's where we are right now. We've also got some salads and a few other good things. When I do these streams, I'm doing them basically for the whole week so I can prep food. Not everything lasts that long, so we have to put in the freezer, but we do pretty well. I've managed today to not completely fill up the dishwasher in 10 minutes. We probably next week will go back to doing kind of themed one. Probably looking at the Swedish mix that I was working on. But I'm finding it a little difficult to find recipes that are going to work. We might need a little oil here. There we go. Just a touch. I haven't been able to really decide because a lot of the recipes that I'm finding now are mostly desserts, and I don't do desserts. I'm not supposed to have lots of sugar and salt, so gotta be easy on that. But I've got 2 recipes that look like they might be good. We'll see if those are ready for next week. Dream or two about some of these repairs. Anybody interested in seeing how we fix the water heater? Well, Dad cat have to do these things. All right, looks like we got a pretty good little bit of browning going on. This is what we wanted here. Some firmness, but not all of it. Looks good. Empty those in. Last on the list is our jalapenos. Ooh! I got a big old mouthful of that one. Wasn't expecting that today. If you're getting tomato sauce, be sure to look at what your quantities are. That's what I had downstairs for this one today, but I hate having to throw half a can in. A lot of them come in small cans. And while per ounce they're a little more expensive, it's better to throw them away than use some small ones. Those are actually burning my nose a little bit. Huh. That's different. Alright, I'm gonna start heating this broiler back up. Well, we'll bake it for a little bit, make sure that everything kind of melts in a little bit, and then we'll put it on broil to toast it. Hey, Bun! Sleep on a pan. Why would you want to do that? We'll need you to take over for my job when I get too old. Don't do that. Warm nap. Okay. I'll give you that. They're starting to soften up. Give it another minute. Yep, just toasting them a little bit, just like our green peppers and all. Remember, put them in the oven. They're not going to cook too much. So you got to get them most of the way there first. I got a big old lung full of it. Kind of like that time when we were in here cooking, and I used that spice grinder for the first time, and I just pulled the cup off in front of my face, and it's full of chilies. Not the greatest idea. That looks pretty good. Okay. So our stove is now starting to heat up. We got it set to about 400 on bake right now. I'm going to switch over here. And here's where we are right now. Now, if you want a nice buttery crust, instead of using olive oil, you can use butter spray, which is exactly what I'm going to do. Oh my goodness, just a second. Got my nose running. I don't know how well this is going to work. We're going to try it. I know this will work better with these. The French bread here, I'm not sure. We'll use a little bit of butter spray here. Remember to crinkle up your wrap here so that it doesn't stick. I'm just going to assemble them right here. And we'll give it a shot. Unlike restaurants, you can add as much of anything you want. I'm just kind of mixing up our pizza sauce here a little bit in the jar. This will probably get soaked into the bread, so we gotta put a little extra here. Oh gosh, those stupid commercials. I'm sorry about the commercials. They won't let me turn them off. Alright, I'll wait just a second. Or about a minute or so. Check the oven. These ad breaks do one thing for me. They allow me to get the stove and stuff cleaned up. Stove and pans. We got nothing left to wash. Okay, there we go. We're back. We're back. I'm sorry about those commercials, everyone. I really am. I wish I could just turn them off completely or, limit it to 30 seconds an hour or something, but I just can't. It won't let me. There's only a certain point where it'll go. All right. So let's make ourselves a little bit of a base layer here so that everything will stay stuck to it. Put a thin layer of mozzarella here. I really think the pita bread's going to do better, but we have to be careful about the baking process. You don't want to scorch it so much that it gets super crispy unless you just like that. I like it to be somewhat crispy, but not super. It's a really easy idea you can do pretty quickly. Again, sorry about the turkey. I gotta use it. I'm not allowed to have regular pizza, Stays. This is the only thing I've had to eat today, so this is what I'm having. A little bit of onion on here. Pack it in there. This is probably one of the lightest episodes I've done as far as difficulty. But I do want to remind people that it is fairly easy to do this. You know what triggered the thought to just do this today? Hey Darius, hello, welcome in. Telling us that Yori Snap has 3 or 4 weeks. Oh, okay. That time of year, huh? Someone who can have both turkey and it's actually pretty good. They better replacement items. Okay, good. I'm not the only one. I use it because of salt content and fat content. It's that time of year again, huh, Darius? Well, I hope everything works out for you. I know that you have a fun time with that, and they always feed you pretty well, too. So we had a little extra pepper this time. Put a little extra on here. I like black olives. I know a lot of people don't, but you know. Small can of sliced ones works pretty well. I honestly think there's more in the small cans of sliced ones than there are in the actual whole cans of the large ones. I am going to have to end stream after I get this into the oven because it's going to take it about 8 or 10 minutes or so, and I got to get moving. I was trying to limit today to about 2 hours, but it looks like I still went to 3. Still be around-ish, but busy with work, yeah. That's why it's why I'm always so difficult sometimes to get things done. I mean, working 60 hours a week every week is gonna eat a lot of time. All right, jalapenos. These are up to you. You can put a lot, you can put a little. I personally like a lot of heat. I just don't like breathing it. Breathing jalapenos is not great. Might as well just mace yourself. Again, today we made 3 full dishes. We've got enough to eat for the whole week and probably a little bit more. And nothing too bad for you health-wise. For $48. I just used a little bit of the stuff that I had here at the house. Now, as far as the cheese goes, you're going to need to put a little more on there than you think you do. May even ends in November. Oh. I see why you've been doing a lot of extra time on the streaming then, too. Very understandable. Hey, Haru! Oh, this looks awesome. We're doing, this is kind of an experiment too. So I'm thinking that the pita bread here is probably the best option. I think it is. I really think it's going to work better. But the French bread can also be very good. It's just going to be a lot more bread. Think of it as a home style crust versus a deep dish that you're just making yourself. You do need to add a little more cheese though. It's kind of the binder here as well, but it will thin out pretty quickly if you don't. So you're going to need at least one decent sized bag. This is about 2 cups, I believe, in these bags. All right, looking good to me. That looks good like it is. Technically could eat it like that. Wouldn't want to though. I've done store pita and white, and while timing is an issue, they usually turn out good. These are not homemade. These are store pitas. I bought them from the store along with everything else. I got about 5 or 6 of them. These are Greek pitas. Same goes with that. French bread. It was the $1 special at the store today, or yesterday. All right, so I'm going to put this in the oven. We're going to watch it, make sure that the cheese starts melting, and then once the cheese is melted, it's more or less done. And then we switch it over to the broil setting for just a minute or two. You don't want to do it for very long. so that you can get a little bit of a toast onto the bread into the cheese. That's the trick. If you do that part wrong, you're going to either burn it or it's not going to look right, and it won't be as appetizing. It'll look a little weird. I do not know how 1 hour's worth of recipes ended up taking 2.5 hours, but okay. As you can see, we still have enough to make about 3 or 4 more here. So this is a relatively good thing for your pocketbook. I filled up about half of the dishwasher today, so not bad at all. Okay. While that is baking, I'll give it a couple minutes. We'll see how long it takes. We've got our currywurst, our spicy currywurst. We've got the meat part of the stroganoff. We have our noodles. Again, not combining them so they won't become soggy. Our salads are in the fridge. I'm going to pull one out, just for picture's sake. I am going to, sometime in the near future, try to pull up and do another Indian stream. And while I did this several years ago, I'm thinking about making maybe a chicken tikka masala pizza. So we may do that with garlic naan crust. Or maybe butter chicken or something similar. Definitely a we'll see situation. I am here by myself, so yes, this is more than enough for a week. I don't see any reason why we shouldn't be cooking next week. We should be. The week after, I may have to spend most of the weekend doing yard maintenance because I've got to get everything done before I leave because it's going to have to sit for 3 weeks untouched. So I may be down for 4 weeks total. We'll see. Rod, I still have frying oil sitting here. Oops. Burn it into the pan. Okay. For those that are new or anybody that wants to join, you're welcome to go to the Discord today or anytime. Just let us know when you're there and where you came from. We do have a little bit of a security measure just so that we manually verify to know that the person coming in is a person and not a bot. I have had maybe 1 or 2 art scammers the entire time in the last several years, and we have a fairly big but moderately quiet community. So it worked out. It's working out pretty well. If you do join, let us know you're there. and we'll manually verify you and get you all set up. All the recipes are there. I write down everything as I'm doing it, and put in some of the optional items for you. You're welcome to take those recipes and use them any way you like. If you want to post your own, that's also available. I'm trying to remember to start working on the astronomy section again, being an amateur astronomer as well. I'm going to try to put up the monthlies for next month here soon. So if anybody'd like to join, you're welcome to do so. I know it's a weird mix, right? Cheese is mostly melted, so we'll give it a minute. Let it bake for another minute or so, and then I will turn the broiler off. So we'll hang on for a minute. If anybody has any suggestions or they'd like to see us do a recipe, as long as it's a low salt, low sugar, I can do it. Even if it's not, you can go ahead and put it in as a suggestion. Occasionally I will do some shows where I fix foods that I can't eat and I'll just take it to work. So don't feel you have to. All of our social media contacts are there. Check them on a regular basis. I'm not on it super frequently. I'll check it about once a day, maybe. So don't expect a whole lot of quick responses. Our vegetable garden is not our vegetable garden. Our herb garden is not doing too well. I don't know what the issue is. Let me set the plants outside soon. Yeah, it's starting to cook, so I'm going to crank up the broil. Try to toast it. We'll see how it goes. Let's give it a minute. We did pretty well today. So, I will try to post these recipes. I know I'm a week behind, but I will try to get them posted. We're also getting close to 1,000 here. While I don't get to stream all the time, so it's very difficult for me to get up to it, get up to where we are. I'm actually glad to see it, and I'm glad to have so many friends that wanted to come in and join us. I think Monday I was still trying to consider trying to figure out how to do another art stream, but I'm just going to be honest about it. I really do not have anything in mind. And what I'm working on is, I need to work on what I've already got, so I'm going to do some of that. But on stream, we'll probably continue on with Death Stranding, yes. I was trying to remember the real name of the game. And not call it the weird name that we've been calling it. Seems to be working pretty well on the computer with only one source. I guess they did a good job of optimizing it. It's starting to toast. We're almost done. See how quick it is? It took longer to cook the onions than it did to do that. Not bad. Yeah, I think we're done. It looks pretty good. This looks pretty good. See if I can get one off of there. They look better than the last time I tried to do this. It's taken me a little while to learn. There we go. Looky there. Those look pretty darn good to me. Everything looks done properly, and it's not overly dry and hard. Okay. Well, thank you so much, everybody, for being here today. Really appreciate it. Let's see, where are we? Okay. Jindal and Dio, again, thank you so much. You're always here to help out with the streams. It really helps. Thank you for the Prime sub. Is it Diode? I still didn't get an answer on that one. Oh, and Tovin and Sen hiding out too. Okay. Thank you so much, everybody. I really appreciate it today. We are going to go find a great target. Let's see. Hopefully I'm still logged in. I'm not. Thanks a lot. Every time it's like, we've decided to expire you. So we gotta log back in. Why can't we just leave it logged in? It's not that hard. Not that hard. Oh, okay. Let's go visit a good friend who is also an art streamer. Alright, if you have my emotes, you're welcome to use them. If you don't, that's fine. I'm going to post a message here for you. It's going to be our standard here for these streams. You're welcome to cut and paste it into chat if you'd like to participate. If you want to hold on for just a minute for the raid, you'll get some extra points if you want to use them for the stream. So we're going to go head over to Sky Blue Arts. She is currently working on Supermarket Simulator. So that's perfect. We're grading out of a cooking stream into a supermarket stream. There we go. All right. Everybody have a great rest of the day today. I hope you had a great weekend, and I hope you all have a great week this week. I'll post pictures and everything else as soon as I can. Y'all have a great evening. Have a great night. Have a great week. Bye now.